I've had these on hand, so to speak. Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to take a look at some of the essential tools and items that will make your log burner life a little bit more fun and a little bit easier day to day. Let's get into it. So number one is the companion set. Now this I use every single time I burn, doesn't matter what it is, coal or fuel or the briquettes, whatever it is. So the main two I use on this are the grippers and the poker. It just helps move the coal around, helps move the wood around, and you get a lot more aeration as well. They also come with a brush. I never use the brush personally. It looks good though, and the shovel, which I never use the shovel and the brush, but I think one of these will make your day-to-day log burning a lot easier. Number two is this little thing. Look how cute this is. It looks like a little crock pot, but it's for wax melts. Now you can get these cheap for about £10 on Amazon, eBay, anywhere like that. It's made of cast iron, and you just put some wax melts in the top, put the top on, plonk it on top of your log stove, just like that, and it does give off a nice aroma. Nice little fun gift for anyone, or perfect for just getting that little extra scent in the room. Number three is the fan. Now these fans work off the heat of the actual log burner themselves. Now there's a lot of discussion around fans online. I will just say that this particular fan works wonders here. You can feel maybe a foot or 2 foot away from the fan, you can feel the air, the hot air being blown out. And I know some people run 3 or 4 fans on their log burner. I just go with the one personally, which does the area that we're in. But I would definitely recommend a fan. They kick in around about the 200 Fahrenheit and they go all night long. And the big good thing with these is it does help disperse the heat around the room. Personally, I think they're fantastic for your log burner. So number 4 and number 5 are these things, temperature gauges. So you want one for your flue pipe or your stove, and you want one for the room. And I really like these because they show you how hot you're burning. So it's good to know if you're burning too hot or not hot enough, and you know when it's time to put more fuel on. It just makes for a better day-to-day log burner experience, because if you're once you've been doing it years, I bet you can know what you're burning. But without that temperature gauge, personally, I wouldn't know what I would do. And this one is more for a bit of fun, just so you kind of know the temperature in the room. So temperature gauges definitely help your day-to-day log burner experience. Number 6, glass cleaner. Specifically this HG stove glass cleaner from Home Bargains. Not sponsored, but this is some of the best stuff I've ever used personally. It just makes like day-to-day cleaning the log burner a lot easier. There's no messing around. You can even use it on your oven doors in the house as well, because it gets off any caked on, baked on stuff really. So this makes life so much easier than rubbing ash on personally. And you can see I run a pretty clean glass day-to-day anyway, but any dirt, this is what I use. Get on the HG glass cleaner. Number 7 is the coal hob or coal scuttle. It just helps pouring in a bit of coal a little bit easier for you. This one is a cheap £12 one from Home Bargains again. It does the job, and who cares if you bash it up at £12. But this is just because coal can be a bit messy, you know. But this just makes things a little bit tidier. Also gives you somewhere to store 2 or 3 kilos of coal in the house. Nice and safe, looks good as well. And for 12 quid, you can't go wrong. So number 8 is the bucket. Now you can use buckets for all sorts of things. You can even use them for coal instead of the coal scuttle. I do find with the coal scuttle it just helps pouring it in a little bit easier than handballing it. Personally though, my number 8 is firelighters. So without firelighters or fire starters, you know, I would definitely be a bit lost. You know, I like these natural kind of firelighters, fire starters, and I keep them in a big bucket. It even says ash on there, but it's not ash for me. I don't keep my ash in here, get that out of the house straight away because it smells a bit. But for me, Fire lighters, fire starters are an essential part of your making log burning life a little bit easier for you. So number 9 is this thing, the inside racking. So storage for your wood inside your home. Now obviously you don't want to keep it outside, wood stores, but when you bring it in, it's essential to have somewhere tidy to keep your rack. This particular rack cost about £30–40 off Amazon. We just used to use it as a shelf for a long time, but then one day we thought, oh, let's try some wood on it, and it worked perfectly. And that brings us on to number 10, which is the kindling basket. So somewhere to keep your kindling. Now we could keep kindling, for example, on the racking that I just showed you, but we have our own kindling basket which we just chuck kindling in, and it lasts us a good week or two in there. And I wouldn't be without either of these two. Number 11. And funny enough, that's 11% moisture as well. So a moisture meter is number 11. Get yourself one on eBay, Amazon again. They're like 10–15 quid. Obviously get the best one you can afford. Personally, I've got this cheap one. It always does the trick for me. Now, I consistently just use the same moisture meter constantly. I don't change it up. Obviously, for me personally, I like to burn wood under 15%. If it's between 15, or if it's over 15%, sorry, I season it down to 15%. So just leave it dry out another 6 months or so. Now, without one of these, you can't tell what your wood is. How do you know what your wood is? Obviously, if you buy in kiln dried wood, then you know, or it should be as dry as 0% pretty much. But this is very handy little thing to have, and it's one of the more fun things to have as well around, where you're going around just testing wood. It's just a load of fun, you know, and you can get the family involved when they come round. Number 12, heat gloves to protect you. Now, do you really need these? Personally, I don't use these a lot, but they have come in handy sometimes where I've needed to put my hand into the fire when it's really, really hot. I have been happy that I've had these on hand, so to speak. You know, literally having these in my possession has saved me once or twice, but I've probably only used these 2 or 3 times this winter. And not to open the door, for example, you know, this particular stove is known to have a hot handle, for example, but this is running currently 600 on the temperature gauge, and the handle is hot to touch. But you don't need one of these gloves to open the stove door. I think this is more for intrusive work inside the stove itself, personally. But that's just my personal opinion on the gloves. But definitely have some on hand, so to speak, just in case you need them. Number 13, the carbon monoxide tester. Safety first, guys. Make sure you have one of these. If you haven't got one of these, get on Amazon, get on eBay, get down to Home Bargains. They sell them for 15 quid. It's better to be safe than sorry. Number 14, one of my favourite ones, is the humble wheelbarrow. Now this thing will save you so much lugging around when it comes to moving wood, moving coal, moving all the stuff. You know, without this wheelbarrow, you know, it takes, to fill this rack up that you just seen, takes about 2 wheelbarrows. So to carry that for us would be a hell of a trip from the back of the garden all the way down to the front. So the humble wheelbarrow saves you so much time and effort as well. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what's your favourite essential item that you use. Have you got anything fun or anything that just keeps your log burner in check every day that you couldn't be without? You know, this is 14 of my favourite things that I use on a daily basis pretty much with my log burner. And, you know, it just makes life a lot easier if you're prepared for each and every situation. So if you're burning coal, you know, make sure you've got the coal scuttle, for example, or the prongs to adjust the coal, because you don't want to be in there poking around with wood, you know, which I've done myself. And all of these things that you've seen in the video, you can get on Amazon or eBay pretty cheap. Home Bargains is a great place to go to, you know, like the coal scuttle was £12. The companion set was another £12, so you could get set up for very cheap. You know, it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. I know some of the cast iron stuff is really good quality and it costs a lot of money. But if you haven't got that kind of money, you can do it on a budget as well, you know, which is the point of these videos, to show it doesn't have to cost the earth to run one of these things. So at the end of the day, we all want to kind of save a little bit of money along the way. And my plan with these videos really is just to show you what your average Joe is doing with a log burner. So thanks for watching as always, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Pow!